Good evening, everyone. Baxter Cribs here with you once again this evening. I hope everything is doing well for you. Trying a little different programming tonight, a different software recommended to me by my coach. It's BeLive.tv. I tried it last night. Little technical difficulties, such as there was no sound when I done it. So anyway, I corrected that. I think that I did, and maybe we're going good here this evening. If you happen to come on or you don't hear no sound, then I have the same difficulty again. But anyway, I hope that you do. I'm going to continue on here. I want to tell us a story, a short story of something that happened today, and I thought about, okay, how can I use this and what went on? And that is that I have 2 or 3 dogs, and one of them happens to be a very huge bulldog. She's been fixed, and she has all day to decide what she wants to do in her pen or not do in her pen. And today was one of those days that I had a neighbor call me or text me, and they said, one of your dogs is out. Well, I immediately assumed the one that it was. And her name is Bobby, and I call her Bobby because when I found her on the road, her bones were sticking out, but her tail was cut off. You know, it's like she had a bob-tailed bulldog, so I just call her Bobby. It was just a fitting name. And at first, you know, when I heard the dog was out, and in my mind, I knew which one it was. But here's the problem is that, or the challenge is that I was an hour and a half away from my house in driving time alone, and I had orders on my truck that had to be delivered, and so there was simply nothing I could do next to this dog that weighs nearly 100 pounds, and especially, you know, whenever bulldogs have the reputation that they do. And so anyway, so I said, I just text him back, and I told him I would take care of it, just leave her alone. And that's what I did. I just left it alone. There was nothing I could do. So at the end of the day, when I was through and work and I got opportunity to come home, I came on home. And here she come down the sidewalk in front of my house to meet me at the truck. I got my leash out, put her on it, put her back in her pen. And when I put her back in, I couldn't see how she got out. Wherever she had got out was not immediately open to me. And that's happened to me before. So what I done was I went over and sat down on my porch, which is a fair amount away from her, where she can't see me. And I watched her for a little bit, and she moved down to where the hole was. And so I thought just a few minutes ago before I came on, I decided this is what I want to share with you, some things that I learned, because I watched her go down and she showed me how she had gotten out. So a couple of things that we can learn from this today. There we go. I'm trying to do all the little tricks on this thing to see if they work. There's 2 things that we can learn that I learned from this, that, you know, sometimes you know this stuff, but you either forget it or you forget to apply it, but you do it anyway because it's there, or you have no choice. So the 2 things that I learned here that I was reminded of is that whenever challenges arise, the first thing you have to decide to do, if you cannot get to the problem right then, is be patient. Now, that's just a side tip, because my real thing was, don't get angry. Many times you know, you get aggravated at stuff like this is not her first time of getting out. And when you think you got everything fixed, boom, there it is again. And so my first thought was to get mad about it. And then I immediately decided there's no need to get mad. I can't do anything. It doesn't matter if she was under 100 miles away or whatever. I just had to fix the problem. And so I just let it go. And that's the first thing I suggest that we do, because when you get into anger, then you simply create more problems. You can't think clear, for one thing, so that messes up some stuff. And then the next thing is that if you're dealing with people or customers, and you get them upset, then you've created more issues, more challenges to overcome, or revenue lost, or, it can affect you in a lot of different ways. So don't get angry. You cannot fix the things whenever you are angry. And so let's see here. Yeah, okay, so that would be number one right there. See that, put that up there. So don't get angry whenever you're doing those things. The second thing is that when you get to where the challenge is, or the problem, I like to call them a challenge, I like to stay on the positive side here, and you cannot see what it is, right? Then take what some people say that, 10,000 foot view, 20,000, 30-foot view, where you rise up above the problem and you can look down and see a big picture of how it's going on, what's going on. In the case today, I sat back and watched her, the animal, go over to a hole. And it's unbelievable how a 100-pound dog can get through a little hole, and what they will push themselves through once they determine they're going to get through there. And what she had worked on the wood on the side of the fence and broke the wood loose, and the fence was snapping back against the back of the wood where I couldn't see it. But once she pushed on it, she then would squeeze her body through that, and you would hear her trying to get through that, but she was determined to get out of that little hole, and she did. And so when she did, I knew where the problem was, and I knew how to fix it, because I sit and watched her. I let her show me where it was, what it was. And in our daily lives, of our living, or our life that we deal with people, in our work problems that we have that people go on, because if you have employees, then you're going to have some challenges, and sometimes more than you want, and sometimes some you think you shouldn't have. And so that's what we need to do, is whenever you have those issues, then is you need to take and to see back up and take and look at the challenge, back up 10,000 feet away from it, get away from it where you can see it all. Sometimes in relationships, you probably have heard this from other people, that if you have a relationship that's not going right, there's a challenge going on, and you're watching these people over there have this thing, and you can see the problem, but one of them can't see what it is in the other one. And the reason is they're too close to it. They're too close to the problem. You ever heard that? And so you have to back off of that and look at those things and decide if that is the problem. If it is, then you know how to fix it. And sometimes, here's a little trick to this thing, is sometimes those issues are teeny tweaks. It could be a super small thing. Had a little small hole, huge dog getting out. Fix the little hole, problem solved, until she figures out another hole, of course. And they do that. They gnaw and tear, they break their own teeth. If they have determined they're going to do something, they're just going to do it. But anyway, back to the thing, is that when you have a challenge, just say you have an engine that's running bad, and if it's a 6-cylinder engine that runs off spark plugs, if one spark plug, which is about as big as my finger, goes bad, you have a lot of knocks and bumps and so forth, and then you have to figure out, is it a spark plug? Is it a sensor? What is it that's causing these things in that engine to run rough? And you have to back off and look at it, determine what the problem is, and make the little tweak to fix it. It could be something very similar to a spark plug, a fuel injector or whatever. Hey, Dr. Bob, good to see you on here this evening. So you have to back up and look at those problems and take a wide view. So that's two issues. That's two things that I wanted to let us know this evening about how we do, is when you have challenges that you can't get to, first thing is, don't get angry. I wonder if this will back up for me here. It indeed might. Look at there. Don't get angry, because you have a more difficult time to fix the problems when you're angry. The second thing that we should do then is to back up and to look at the problem, get a big picture at it, and discover what the real issue is. Because sometimes we're too close and we think it's something that's right in front of us, but it's really not. It's something way over here hidden that is causing the rub. And so you need to back up and watch and look at it and figure out how to answer that. Let somebody else sometimes will lead you to those problems so that, you know, and then you can say, okay, here's what it is. And it could be simply, if you have employees, it could be an employee. You know, you have to determine those things of what's the best way to handle that. So those are my things to learn this evening, my friends, is that you do those things when you have challenges that arrive. And there's other things we could talk about, but we just don't want to take too much of your time this evening. And I hope you found value in this. If you have, please make a comment below or share it with someone else who might can enjoy this. And I hope that the new platform has been coming across good for you as well this evening. And I hope it seems to be good for me. I'll probably continue to use this. And if you'd like to try it out, is BeLive.tv. BeLive.tv. Good little software at the moment in its beta programming, and so there may be a few bugs to work out, but right now it's doing very well, it seems to be. All right, my friends, you have a good rest of the evening, and we will see you tomorrow. Thank you.